So the first part will be about what are the marketing pillars, the digital marketing pillars, then what are the digital communication channels, and finally, we will explore the 5 core behaviors in the digital world inspired from Columbia Business School. This is the latest course that I took, and it was fantastic. It's very inspiring because it puts into perspective the behaviors of consumers through 5 kind of stages that you can build your strategy on and adapt the way to reach out to them depending on your target audience. So first of all, when I say digital marketing, usually from my experience, when we talk about digital marketing, we jump directly into social media. Yes, social media is a very strong pillar and very important, especially when we talk about the Gen Z. However, websites and mobile are still very important because they represent your display. Let's say if you have an e-commerce business, your website will be your shop. It's your display. It's exactly how it used to be in the 90s or the beginning of 2000, where there were no online. You had to decorate your display. Now, this is what's happening on your website or a mobile app or mobile website, where you need to have a certain image and make sure that you are capturing all the needs and all the tools that you have to put to build a very memorable brand with your identity, but also tone of voice and the style. And then, yes, social media is a way to connect with your customers or consumers on a more personal level, and also to drive traffic from the social media to your website. So now when we talk about a website, it is important to talk about SEO and SEM because these are the tools that are allowing you to have visibility and to reach your customers and consumers. Without forgetting that there is a very strong link between your website and your mobile. Whatever you have as a desktop should be very, very linked to mobile in terms of brand identity and visuals. However, technically, sometimes it's challenging. So it's important to keep in mind that when you are developing something on a computer-based platform, to keep in mind, even if you're not planning to do the mobile now, that mobile will happen in the future. Now, if we talk about products that are targeting Gen Z, you definitely need to be on a mobile because most of them are using mobile more than a laptop. So this is where your user experience, what we call the UX, is very important because it's now the attention span is very, very limited. And people, they just want with a thumb to just scroll up and down and be able to just shop with one finger. They don't want to go through many details, and the process should be tested in a way and retested that it takes the visitor through the process that is leading to your business objective. So I'm mentioning this, each pillar has a different way of establishing a strategy. So if we look into how to build an SEO and SEM on a website, so the SEO comes in a very in an organic way. Whenever you have a strong content and the strong keywords, then your website will come on top. However, it's not always easy to be in the first page, especially when you are just beginning. So this is why sometimes you'll have to boost with the SEM, which is the search engine marketing, where you have to build your campaign so that your website is more visible and comes on the first page. We will get into the details later on the presentation. So now from these 3 pillars, obviously our target is to communicate with our audience. So what are the channels of communication when we talk about digital marketing? You have your website, then it's going to be your SEO, SEM that you have to develop so that your website is visible. Then to promote your services or products, it depends if you are a B2C or a B2B, then you'll have to reach out to your customers / consumers. Emailing is still a very relevant tool for both B2C and B2B. Definitely the style is different. The database of your target audience is also different, but emailing campaigns are still relevant if they are done properly, and we will get into some examples later on. Then another way is lead generation specifically for B2B. This is mainly for B2B on LinkedIn. We will explore it further and see some examples. Then you can have your social media ad campaigns. And this is fantastic for e-commerce, for consumer goods, but also more and more for business to business now, be it on Facebook, or I see it even on TikTok now with serious business to business companies communicating on TikTok, but obviously the tone of voice is different. Then you have, like each platform has its own tone of voice. If you go from LinkedIn, which is quite formal and serious, into Facebook, that is very community oriented, still quite serious, then Instagram, which is kind of posh, and you have to have like the quality of the pictures, and it's all about, I look good. And then TikTok, which is a lot of fun, absolutely not serious, even if you are a serious business. Then another way is the display ads. Also is like placing your brand in another website that has a bigger audience with a bigger reach. And finally, the influencers. And we will see also later on what is the trend towards the influencers nowadays. So SEO, SEM, I don't know if all of you are familiar with the difference between SEM versus SEO. So I'm going to explain it. The SEM, which is the search engine marketing, is the paid advertisement for your website through keywords and filters. And usually it comes on top of the page and you see next to it mentioned ad. And then you have the SEO. I mean, it needs a lot of work to have your organic appearance with just the SEO on the first page of Google, because people usually, they just go through the first page, second page, maximum third, but they don't go after. So it's very important if you want to have clicks and if you want to have people go into your call to action, to click on, to be visible first on the first page, second, to have them click and go on your landing page to do the action that you are expecting them to do, be it book an appointment, for instance, if you are a consultancy, or buy from your shop if you are an e-commerce, or donate if you are an NGO. So it depends on your call to action. Then you will direct your target audience towards it. So now, how do we build an SEM? The beauty of SEM is you build your campaign and you don't pay if people are not clicking. Then it's your role to make them convert. So they can click, go on your website, but bounce. If your website is not done in a way that is attractive to them, or if your keywords are not relevant to the people. The beauty of SEM also is like you are capturing your target audience in the moment of their behavior where they really need you, because they are Googling, let's say, where to find the best restaurant in Dubai, for instance, or near me. Then you appear. They need you at that time, then it's easier to convert them. But let's say if your keywords are not corresponding to this, they will Google restaurants, and your business is about clothes, and you put keywords that are relevant to restaurants, then it will not, they might click, go to your website, but they will not action your call to action. So here, how a campaign would look like. And this is something you can easily do. You can take a training on this link, which is the skill shop of Google. You can take a training for Google Ads. It's super simple and easy. So, and this is, I'm going to show you an example of, this is a campaign I run for Flair and Vision, my consultancy agency. So here you decide what you want to write, first of all. So for instance, in my case, I wanted to reach out to people who are based in Middle East and Africa. This is why I'm writing Middle East and Africa, because I'm looking for companies who are based there. And I wrote it in a big title because it means that I have expertise in these markets. Now, I added innovation and marketing strategy also in big, because this is the core of what we do. And this is what we are expecting people to be Googling about. So this is why it was written in big. Now, in small here also, you can decide whatever you want to write. So again, in the case of Flair and Vision, because we are specialized in consumer goods, personal care, home care, perfumes, etc., we put it here. So whenever the businesses are really looking for someone who is doing innovation and marketing to grow the brand in Middle East and Africa, specifically with an expertise on these categories, these industries, they will click. So this ad ran for 7 days. It was not bad, 100,000 impressions. The click-through rate was quite good, because usually you reach between 3 to 5%. So it wasn't that bad, but it was not a fantastic ad, let's say. Now, how do you do later on to make sure that you are reaching out to your target audience? After you write down your catching, it's like you are fishing and you are writing down exactly what is going to attract the attention of your customers. And then you start building your customers. So you put what are the keywords that they are looking for. So you imagine your customer looking for you. What would they write when they are looking for you? So they would write marketing strategy or consultant, etc. And then you choose where they are based. In my case, I chose Africa, Middle East and Africa, because this is where my expertise is. And then it comes here where you can choose on the mobile what is your call to action. It can be call business, it can be book an appointment, it can be go on the website. So it depends on what is your objective. If you have, let's say, a gym clothes shop and you want people to visit the shop, then you will write here that get directions, and then you link it to Google Map. If you want them to call you, then call the business, etc. So this is just an example, and it's really fantastic because you can get a lot of leads, be if you are business to business or business to consumer. Now, if we jump into the emailing campaigns that I talked about. So first of all, this tool, it's like a platform. It's called Really Good Emails. If you need inspiration to write emails for your campaign, it's a fantastic platform. It is so inspiring because you can search by themes and by industries and by brands, etc., to find the right text to get inspired. I here collected some examples from the platform itself. For instance, here, if you look to Hubspot, and by the way, Hubspot is an amazing tool to get trends and articles about digital marketing. I learned a lot through this platform. So they are fantastic. So here, what I wanted to highlight in this emailing, so you receive this email, it's a cold email, you are just part of their database, and it's directly call to action here in big, so that you click directly. Even if you don't have time to read, you are tempted to click on the big button of the call to action. Now, the example of Hootsuite. Hootsuite is also another fantastic tool to centralize your social media posting in a way that is planned. So if you don't have time to post every day, then you build your strategy, you build all your content, let's say for 1 week, 2 weeks, and then you put it all there and you plan it. And the tool is posting on your behalf, depending on the time and the calendar that you built. So in this case here, what I like about this emailing campaign is because they wanted to highlight the fact that it is becoming super easy to use it. You don't have to have your desktop or your laptop, your computer in front of you. So they have the apps. And here the call to action is clear, download the app. So that's here, the emailing campaign objective is download the app. Then this one is very nice. This is a business to business kind of emailing campaign. The nice thing is the tone of voice here. Here they say, we are here for you, because people are receiving so many emails every day about sale, buy now. It's very aggressive. This emailing campaign is so nice. It's like, we are here for you. They are not asking people to buy now or to do anything as such in a very aggressive commercial way. They are even giving them 3 months for free, which is amazing. So it's another strategy to build your connection with your target audience. And finally, this is a nice campaign also from Maison Louis Marie, which is a fragrance company. And here, it's the call to action is very clear, is shop now. So as you can see, the common denominator it can be any business objective, but the common denominator is in all the emailing campaigns, you have a very clear call to action. You click on something which is based on your business objective. Then you can also go very creative with your emailing campaigns. So I want to show you this one. I hope everyone can see my screen. And this is the platform I told you about. So this is an email that you would receive. This is from Virgin Voyage, and they wanted to promote their service. So they say, follow this turtle, and you keep scrolling, and then they keep telling you, are you following? And you are like curious to know what's happening, and they're still following. And then you keep go, and then you say, whoa, you clearly like following things, and then follow us. And that's fantastic because it's like a sense of humor, and it's fun, and it puts the reader in a frame that is funny and happy. It's not like sales and very hardcore sales. Another example of a very nice app. This is a new app that was launched recently in Dubai. It's called Steppy. So this app calculates the number of steps that you do during the day through your Apple Watch or your iPhone. And then the more steps you do, then you get promotions. You get discounts in shops. And they keep sending you emails about a new shop, a new brand that they partnered with, which is fantastic. Then they put the brand, and then here it's redeem 15,000 steps, which is then making you just click there and go to the app. The beauty here is, what I like about this emailing campaign is you have the signature from one team member, and it makes it so personal. And even here, it's James from Steppy. It's not a very impersonal cold email that you receive in a very aggressive sale way, but no, it's, I am here for you, I'm James, and he keeps sending me things, and I almost feel I'm talking to a person. So that's bringing another added value, which is the human touch that we are missing every day now with all the digitalization and the making things more automatic, robotized. Then the human touch brings a very interesting differentiating element to the brand. Now, if we talk about the lead generation that we mentioned as a way of communication with your target audience, this is only business to business. I don't know if you are familiar with the Sales Navigator on LinkedIn. It's a fantastic tool. You can just upgrade your LinkedIn account to the Sales Navigator. And then through this, you will be able to do filtering exactly like what we saw with Google Ads, where you can choose what are the people you are looking, who are the people you are looking for, where are they located, what kind of jobs do they do, their seniority level, as you can see here, seniority level, years in current position, school, industry, etc. And then you can generate a database of clients, then you can send them emails. And it is automatic yet personalized because it comes from your LinkedIn profile. Then it gives you the link directly to the person can check your profile, it gives you credibility, and then it creates already a very strong link with your client, and then you can discuss things based on content that you posted or content that they posted, and then it makes the relationship as client supplier much easier and more human. So this is another kind of communication channel. Then the most common now is all the ads on social media. So the ads on social media, as we know, they can be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn also. So I'm taking the example of Facebook just because I mean, the logic is more or less the same everywhere, and Instagram is run through Facebook in any case. If you want to do an ad campaign on Instagram, you have to go through Facebook. So what I wanted to highlight here is that based on your business objective, you will determine how you want to do the ad. The ad, first of all, you need to keep in mind, what do I want to do? Do I want to get more traffic to my website? Then you would choose this one. Do I want to boost a post? Because I think this post needs to have more likes, because the more likes I get on that post, then I have more followers. Then you can do the same on Instagram. Or if you have an app and you want people to download it, then you click on this one and you'll have on this button, it will appear as download the app. Here you have learn more, which means that you are trying to take people to your website, which means that the objective here is to increase visitors on your website. Here is to increase the sales, because you are inviting people to shop on your online shop. You can also, if you have you don't have an online platform for shopping yet, and you have a shop, you can put here, visit our shop, and you put the directions, or you can put call us, or if it's business to business, you can put book now, or if you want to get people to subscribe to an event, then you give them, it comes to you, that it comes automatically from the social media platform, where they give them a form to fill so that they can subscribe to the event that you are trying to promote. So you have different objectives. You can also promote your page. So there are so many objectives that you can achieve with a campaign. So it's not only about promoting your page, but you can also get sales, you can get traffic to your website, and you can make it very, very business oriented. And then you can also track through the metrics for those who are going to watch later on the French version of this webinar. Anaïs will talk about the metrics. So you can also check the way you can monitor and analyze the data about your campaigns, because that's very important. The beauty of digital is circular. Before, when we used to do TV only, you put all your money in a campaign, you communicate to people, it's awareness. You don't know who went to the shop to buy because they watched the TV spot, or just because they heard from their neighbors, or you have no idea. Now with digital, you are able to do a campaign, check what people liked, what they didn't like, and then adjust accordingly, and you keep in a loop. This is why metrics are very important. And there's also another way of using this kind of advertisements. It's kind of doing a test A/B. Let's say you're not sure about the visual that will attract your audience. You plan exactly the same campaign. Let's take this one, fresh organic salad. You're not sure this picture will attract a lot of people. So you plan exactly the same, with the same filters, same budget, same locations. You just change the picture and you run the two campaigns in parallel. The one that is generating more traction means that your picture is better, and then you get to know what kind of visuals your target audience likes more. So that's also a very nice way to test, and it's a very affordable way of testing your branding. So now if we look into the way to do all of the filters, the beauty of social media is that you can not only filter by geography and by demographics, which was the case in LinkedIn, but you can also base it on interests. For instance, if you have a brand that is for, let's say, gym clothes, then you will look into the people who are following hobbies and activities as sports or healthy lifestyle, etc. If you are into, let's say, kids' clothes, then you will choose people who are interested in family, who are, and then you can also, by the way, have filters. I don't have them here. Filters based on the stage of life. If someone just got married, someone just got a baby, etc., then this is something that you can filter with, which is really fantastic because you are within the core of your target audience. And this is also very easy if you have a page for your business or on Facebook You can just run it very easily. If you are working for a company with a brand and you have an agency, this allows you to have more clarity about the way you brief and you target your audience, and what are the possibilities and what are the enablers you have to build a better campaign. Now, if we are talking about ads, this is also very important, because now the trend, before what we used to have as advertisement, we would imagine this banner, the boring one that comes on top of your website, and then you have to keep clicking to get rid of it. So now we have what we call native advertisement. It goes within the design of the website or the mobile app or whatever. So these are different ways. So the panorama is very good when you have cars, apartments, hotels, to make the person feel they are living the atmosphere. And then finally, the touch points, this is more for fashion or cosmetics. And then I'll finish with the influencers. What I wanted to highlight here is that now the trend is towards what we call nano influencers. These are the influencers who come here. Before, it was the trend of mega and macro. The more followers you have, the better it is. Now brands are migrating more towards nano for many reasons. First of all is credibility, because people have more, they trust more the small influencers that are part of their lifestyle and part of the group they feel they belong to. If they are students, for instance, it would be a student or a teacher that is funky and fun, etc. I saw in South Africa, for instance, they had this teacher when we did focus groups for Wing.Studio, and they were like, oh my God, this teacher, she has a TikTok channel and we follow her and she's amazing and we listen to whatever she tells us. And she has like around, I think, 8,000 followers or something. So she is a nano influencer, and the nano influencer usually costs much less than all the others, and they are more authentic and genuine. So now there is a trend towards nano influencers, and you can also just Google nano influencers within the industry that you are working for, and then you can get the list online. There are even now web application apps that are connecting businesses to influencers. I just came across one called Xpin. They do this. So you just tell them what's your business and what kind of nano influencers or micro influencers you're looking for, and they connect the business to the influencer. For the sake of time, I'm gonna stop here and take your questions. For those with a small marketing budget, on which network should they focus their efforts? Yeah, that's a fantastic question. Actually, when I took the course with Columbia Business School, and they kept giving us like examples from Lego and Hilton, but I was like, okay, I mean, we are entrepreneurs. We need to have examples on small budget. So it depends on the kind of business. Like, let's say if you are a business to consumers, so definitely your Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Also depends on the age group. If you are Gen Z, then TikTok, Instagram. Depends also on the geography. TikTok is it's growing very fast in some parts of the world, like here in UAE, but it's still not the case in other parts of Middle East or Africa, for instance. Instagram is still very big. Facebook is now for the millennials and older. And it's really not expensive to run a campaign on social media. It's not. The SEM also, it's not that expensive because you pay only if people are clicking. And if you do a good job with your website or the landing page you are taking people to, then your return on investment will be there. Then if you are in business to business, LinkedIn remains the best platform. And also, again, it's not that expensive to run a campaign on LinkedIn, even though it's more expensive than Facebook and Instagram. But again, it's business to business, right? So if you are a consultant and your return on investment will be bigger because what you are selling is more expensive. So if you are spending per customer, if you are spending $100 per customer and you are selling your service at $4,000, then it is profitable. Whereas if you are selling, I don't know, candles for $2-3 each, you cannot afford to have the user acquisition cost very expensive. So it's all about the ratio between what you are selling and the cost of a user acquisition. Okay, for the ad on social media, should we use it directly from Facebook or use ad manager? And what is the difference? I am in the jewelry business. Okay, so if you are talking, so you can run directly on Facebook, and Facebook, you can run your Facebook and Instagram from the platform, from your page, your professional page. You have your promote, and then you can just go directly there and do. I'm not sure about the ad manager you are referring to. Jewelry business, yes, definitely Instagram and Facebook are fantastic. Depending on your location, TikTok might be a good route to explore. I'll tell you why. It's because it's also still not crowded. Organic growth is much easier than on Instagram. Instagram now, if you don't pay, you don't have organic growth. TikTok, you still get your organic growth. This is one. Two, budgets are still not very high from brands, which means it's still kind of a white space where people are not overwhelmed with advertisement. So TikTok also can be a nice way to communicate. I'm not sure about the ad manager. If you want to, and if we do a campaign on Facebook and Insta, how long should I run it for to see benefit and return on investment? That's a very good question. Look, in digital marketing, there are no norms of you have to do this for 1 week or 2 weeks to get benefit. But at the same time, the beauty of it is adjustable. You can start by a campaign for 1 week and you see it's super successful. Then you extend it. Or you see it's not really successful, then you can always adjust and change things because you are seeing what people are clicking on, what do they like. So if you have your metrics right and you follow them to see the reach, the clicks, where did people go, the number of actions, the call to actions that were materialized after your campaign, then you'll be able to adjust accordingly. And that's the beauty of it. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone.